Hey besties, welcome back to this week's episode of your Manifesting Bestie podcast, season 5. I don't know what episode we're on, I think episode 4 or 5, something like that. I'm your host, Flora, and we are diving into all things mindset, manifestation, and the divine feminine energy like we always do. And today I'm going to be doing a very special call. I actually just did a live training on this, my very first live training, like in person, on a stage. I was scared shitless. I was scared out of my mind. I remember my bestie had to talk me into it. My sister had to talk me into it. They're like, no, just do it. Like, you got this. I have a massive fear of public speaking, which doesn't make any sense because I speak for a living now. But like being on a stage in front of all these people, the lights are just blinding your eyes. Oh my God, it was a very humbling experience. But the message, the training was so good. I'm like, I gotta do an entire podcast episode on the same lesson plan. By the way, cheers guys. I just got back from a photo shoot. I'm launching my brand new program and we did a promo shoot and we are just winding down right now. Me and my sister poured up a glass of wine and I just wanted to unwind a little bit for this episode and talk to my besties. It's gonna be so good. So let's get into it. If we want to learn how to channel the divine feminine, and if we want to learn how to channel our highest self, the highest version of us, have a picture image in your mind of who that is, because that's so different for everybody. When I think of my highest self, I think of like the baddest bitch alive, okay? I think of someone who is ultra confident, somebody who is ultra successful, super loving, soft, sweet, nurturing, yet still powerful and fierce, someone who takes amazing care of herself, her friends, her family, somebody who is healthy, looks hot as fuck, somebody who loves herself, and somebody who is in charge of a massive empire and still gets to have it all. The relationships, the fun, the freedom, right? That's like the highest version of myself that I see in my mind. So get a mental image of what that looks like for you. Who is she? How does she move? How does she operate? Okay, get this visual flowing while we're doing this episode because you are going to start channeling her. So when I think of the divine feminine, what I really start to think of is the energy of embodiment. What is embodiment? I think of embodiment as a full-blown activation. So when we are embodying something different, someone new, right? A better version of ourselves. When we are turning it on and flipping that switch in our mind, we are embodying, we are channeling someone totally new. So when I think of embodiment, I think of a complete cellular recalibration. I think of this as like mechanical engineering, re-engineering my own DNA down to a cellular level, down to a science. And when I was doing this live coaching, this live training in person, I was really honing in on embodiment, energy, aura, stepping in and activating the highest version of yourself to get the things that you want. Now, the room that I was in was filled with business owners or aspiring business owners and entrepreneurs. So we really focus a lot on money activation, but we can do this for all areas of our life, not just finances and success, but really in any area. So one of my all-time favorite movies, like all-time favorite, I have a couple favorite movies like Armageddon, Lion King, Save the Last Dance. Those are like some of my favorite movies, but one of my favorite movies more recently, I would say in the last like decade, is Batman, The Dark Knight. Do you guys remember that movie? Like when it came out, it was a big fucking deal. I love the Batman series. I love Batman movies. I don't know why. I think it's like that underdog story. But the funny part is we all fell in love with Batman in that film, not because of Batman. He wasn't even our favorite character. Why did we fall in love with that film so much? Why was it so captivating? Why was it so magnetic? It was the Joker. It was Heath Ledger embodying a brand new identity. His aura changed. And he did this shit down to a science. So in Batman The Dark Knight, Heath Ledger plays the Joker, but he didn't just play a role. Like, I really want to be clear on this. He didn't just play a role. He embodied a completely different avatar. That is why that entire movie is so damn captivating. That's why we fell in love with it. And then after that film, everybody just knew Heath Ledger as the Joker, right? It was like his new persona. And when we look at that film, when we look at him taking on that role, you can tell he is no longer himself. So we see a shift, a cellular DNA shift down to a science. His facial movements, his voice, the way that he laughs, his attitude, his energy, his aura, every single thing about Heath Ledger changed in that role. And when he took on that persona of the Joker, we felt him through the screen, right? So this movie became so captivating because of the bad guy, which is the funny part. Normally we're always rooting for the good guy, but we love this character. I think I watched that film maybe 15 times, 20 times. Like I can still watch it today like it just came out in theaters and still love it so much. Now what Heath Ledger did in this film is actually what we're gonna talk about today. It's the concept of method acting. So I don't know about you guys, but I watch a lot of films and with different actors and actresses, and I just don't believe them. I don't believe the role that they're playing. Sometimes I question, how did you get this role? I can think of 10 other people that would have been a way better actor for this specific position. Now the concept of method acting is literally taking on a brand new avatar even when the cameras are not rolling. So Heath Ledger did this, and he kind of went a little bit crazy. We're not gonna go crazy. We're gonna do this in a good way. We're not gonna play a bad guy. We're gonna play our highest self. So in this concept of method acting, we are literally taking on a new avatar. We are channeling someone completely different. Different persona, different energy, different attitude, different aura, different characteristics, different fucking everything. Think of the best version of yourself. She's so different than who we are right now because we could all do better. We all want better. We all want more. We all want to be more expansive, more magnetic, more successful, more loving. We all want more. It's okay. It's our human nature to desire more. Now, when we think of this concept of method acting, of taking on a new identity, even when the cameras stop rolling, what does that do? It makes you magnetic and captivating, and the universe believes the role that you are now auditioning for. So when we are trying to manifest a new goal, a new desire, right? I always talk about embodiment, self-concept work, identity transformation work, but I notice that we do it and then we stop. We'll like get into the self-talk practice. We'll say our affirmations, maybe we'll visualize, and then we go about our day and then we keep acting like the current self. The self we're actually trying to part ways with and say goodbye to, right? So if the universe is watching me and is responding to me, she's looking at me, universal laws are looking at me saying, I don't believe you. I don't believe your audition tape. I don't believe the role that you're playing. You're not convincing me. Because as soon as I pick my head up after I do my manifestation focus work, I go back to my old self, right? We all do this. Raise your hand. Everybody, raise your hand. We all do this, right? We might say some loving affirmations and then we go back to self-loathing, to self-pity, to self-hatred, to low self-worth, to disliking ourselves. So the moment we pick our head up from the focus work and we operate our daily reality, we move forward as the old self, not the new identity we're supposed to be channeling. So we are going to start method acting. But instead of embodying the Joker, who is the bad guy, we are going to start embodying the highest version of ourselves until the universe believes my role, until she believes my brand new audition tape for the role I am applying for, because I want that gig. I want to land that part. We're all auditioning for a new part. We want to change our lives. We want to have a better, bigger things. We want to have a more bold reality, a more expansive, loving, fun, thrilling, free, abundant reality. We all fucking want it. You want it, I want it, we all want it, right? We all want more, and that's good. It's good to have these big goals, these big desires, because then you do not become complacent or stagnant. So how do we actually switch our reality? How do we convince the universe, hey, this new role I'm auditioning for, I want the part. I want to be the chosen one. I desire it, I demand it, I command it. So we're not begging, we're not pleading, right? We talked about salvation in the last episode about how people are praying in the wrong way. They're begging and pleading some external God that they have made up in their mind to change them, to change their circumstances. And God does not respond because they're praying in the wrong way. So let's talk about that. If we are applying for this new role, this new position, this new reality, I want to land the fucking gig, it's mine. I want it. I want you to be so firm with yourself. It is mine. Like, have that belief. It is mine. It doesn't belong to anybody else. And all the confirmations I see in my reality, that person has it, that person has it, that person has what I want. It's all just confirmations. The universe is just showing you, hey, on a silver platter, you can have it too. Look at all the people enjoying what you want, the fruits of their labor. You can have it too. You just gotta apply for the role. But if the universe doesn't believe my application, it doesn't believe my new script because I'm not convincing enough, because I turn it off, I'm a poor actor, I'm not being a good method actor, I don't get the part. and I can try and I can beg and I can cry and I can fight with all my might. I can try to force it. I'll only get so far. You only get so far through force. Because if everything is energy, then 95% of the changes that occur in my reality must be energetic. 5% will be the little shuffle dance I do in my physical world. A little shuffle here, a little shuffle there, pick up some weights and do a little exercise, apply for this new job, shoot my shot with the person I'm trying to date. Those are those little action things that we do. 95% is gonna be energetics though. I used to think it was like 80%, and I would tell everybody it's 80% energy, 20% action. Now I'm realizing it's 95% energy and 5% action. I had it all wrong. It's way more energetics than it is action. The action will start to just become free, fun, flowing. You'll wake up and you're just being guided. But if I really want this role, which I do, and I know you do too, if I really want this freaking new role, this new life, I need to be believable. I need to fucking bring it. I need to own it down to a science. I need my DNA to recalibrate itself. I need to rewire myself on a cellular level. This is more than just speaking affirmations. This is way more. This is beyond it. This is more than just visualizing an end goal. This is becoming it, full on embodiment. So if I want to be captivating the way that Heath Ledger in the Batman captivated the whole world in that movie, like stole our hearts, right? He's so captivating, so believable. He literally became a different individual. We haven't seen that in a lot of movies. There's a lot of movies I watch and I'm like, I don't fucking believe you, right? Like you're not convincing enough for me. Sorry, maybe I'm a little bit judgmental, but a lot of actors don't convince me. He convinced me so much to the point where I couldn't stop watching that film. I'm like, wow, so captivating. And that's when I realized I too can captivate the world. I too can become that magnetic. I too can convince universal laws. I am a completely different individual, the best version of me, the highest version of myself. And she has it all. She's fucking fantastic, okay? She's incredible. But how can I make it believable? How can I make this believable? How can I solidify this role and ensure that I get this new position so that my reality can shift? I cannot turn it off. So when the cameras stop rolling, I can't turn it off. I must continue forward being her. So what this means is even if the world is not watching you, the universal laws are. Even if you're home alone, universal laws are still responding to you. What you do behind closed doors is everything. How you do one thing is how you do everything. What you do in private, you wear in public. We need to understand this. I can sit on my high horse all day and scream from the mountaintops that I'm such a great manifester and I can have it my way. I'm so blessed, I'm so abundant. But then when I go home behind closed doors and I'm self-loathing, self-pitying, talking down on myself, having low self-worth, complaining, bitching, moaning, and crying about how bad I have it in my life, guess what? I wear that in public. The whole world sees who I am in public because results don't lie. I cannot fake the funk. I must be her. I must turn it on in my mind like a fucking flip of the switch. And you guys know who's really, really good at this, right? We all know the Marilyn Monroe effect. So Marilyn Monroe, who is originally called Norma Jean, she would do the self-concept switch and she would tell the photographer, watch what I can do. So she would be like in a subway or like some local area where there's a bunch of people and she would have the self-concept of being shy, of wanting to hide, and nobody would notice her. Nobody, because she knew how to turn it off and turn it on. But when she turned it on, she captivated the whole world. She told her photographer, look what I can do. She changed her aura. She would move and walk and hold herself in a brand new structure. Okay, she would even hold her facial muscles in a different way. She would just exude sex appeal, confidence, magnetism, self-belief, and the whole world ate it up. They believed it. So Norma Jean could flip into Marilyn Monroe at any moment, at the drop of a dime. And guess what? You can do it too. You can channel your highest self at the drop of a dime. Now, if we want it to be solidified, we need to keep it going. We can't just do this when people are watching. We can't just do this when we're online or when we're trying to portray ourselves in a certain way. We need to be her 24/7. Method acting means we don't turn it off. We are activating and embodying a brand new identity, somebody new. We're channeling her mannerisms, her speech, the way that she walks, the way that she thinks, the way that she feels about herself, the way that she dresses, the way that she holds her head up high when she enters a room, the way that she looks in the mirror and loves on herself so fucking hard instead of hating on herself. A lot of the times when I'm having a lousy day and I go into the mirror, I will literally sit there and I'll hug myself. Like, I love you. Thank you. Sometimes I'll apologize to myself. Like, I'm sorry for being mean to you today, not accepting you today, right? Talking down on you, thinking down on you today. You owe yourself that apology if you've been treating yourself poorly. These are things I do when no one's watching, because I'm not doing it to impress or prove a point. I'm doing it because I know who I am becoming. And I'm human just like you. I'll forget. And I'll go back to the old self. And this is when people become double-minded. We act like the old self, then like the new self. Again, the universe does not believe you. She doesn't believe you. She's watching you like, oh, you want this new thing. Okay, cool. Apply for the role. Let's see what you got. But if I'm not convincing, because I cannot hold and sustain my energy, and I don't move forward in blind faith, not much is gonna happen. Not much is gonna happen. So something that we can do when we see ourselves drifting far from the higher self, when we see ourselves acting in the old ways, when we see ourselves living in fear again, reverting back to our old habits, our old patterns, what we can do is lean into pleasure. Instead of shaming ourselves, instead of getting mad at ourselves, instead of being like, oh my God, you fucked up again, right? You're so far from your desire. We don't need to do that. Shaming ourselves is even worse. It adds fuel to the fire that doesn't even belong there. So what we can do is we can practice leaning into pleasure when we see that we haven't been acting like our highest self. When we see that the method acting took a little pause, it took a little hit today, we're having a bad day, we're acting like the old self, the one we don't want to be anymore. So what can I do? I'm not going to beat myself up for it. I'm going to lean into pleasure, because your higher self is constantly trying to guide you to pleasure anyway. We're going to make like a whole separate episode about pleasure for the divine feminine. But what we want to do in these moments of noticing I wasn't showing up the right way today or this week or this month, I want to lean into pleasure. It is the quickest way to tap back into your higher self. What can I do in this moment that feels so good? Maybe it's take a nice hot bath. Maybe it's to go for a really nice long walk. Maybe it's to reorganize my closet or clean out the clutter in my kitchen or my bathroom. Maybe it's calling a friend and hanging out with somebody that makes me laugh and makes me smile. Maybe it is spending time in nature and touching some fucking grass, okay? Maybe it's going to the beach, going for a swim, talking to the ocean, whatever you want to do. Whatever feels like leaning into pleasure for you is what you are going to do anytime you notice you kind of fell off track from your method acting. It'll be the quickest way to turn on the switch again to get back into method acting, because you're not punishing yourself, you're enjoying your life. You're enjoying yourself. You're loving on yourself instead of punishing yourself. You're choosing joy instead of self-hatred and self-loathing. And from there, it is the quickest switch again to get back into method acting, to feel good again, to be like, oh, I got this. I can walk like her, talk like her, think like her, feel like her, behave like her, do the new behavioral patterns the way that she would, treat other people the way she would. I know her. I've been practicing for this role and I'm going to solidify it. And every day I'm going to show up. So the moment I wake up in the morning, now I know, oh, I'm channeling somebody new. I can't act like the old self. So what does my morning routine look like? Self-loathing, hating my morning, hating myself. No, the new me, she's gonna shake some ass and fucking twerk in the mirror, put on some high vibrational music, do her skincare, love on herself, okay? She's gonna feel good. She's going to choose a new emotion, choose the higher self. And then in every new segment of the day, she can analyze, how am I showing up? What can I do in this moment that my higher self would do? Because I'm still method acting. I am channeling a new frequency, a new conscious energetic state. And if I can be conscious of this and continue forth with my method acting for a period of time until the conscious becomes unconscious, that means that the subconscious will accept this new role. And when the subconscious accepts this new role, this brand new identity that I have been channeling every single day through this concept of method acting, then the universe must carry out my desire. Meaning I must witness the unfolding of my manifestation. It will be set out right in front of me to witness. And I will know who did it. It was me. I put it into play. I applied for my role and I fucking killed it. I slammed it, okay? I owned that role. I made that role my bitch. Like, I killed it. I'm gonna know I did it. So I can do it again. And I can do it again. And I can do it again. Whatever desire comes up, I can do it again because I know how to turn on the switch. So as you move about your day, ask yourself, who am I being today? Lousy self? The victim mentality self? The one I'm trying to escape? Or am I turning on my Marilyn Monroe self-concept? The new self, the highest version of me, the baddest version of me, the most confident version of me. How does she move? How does she show up? How bold is she? How does she operate her reality? It's really important to get a clear mental image of who she is, obviously, to do this, right? So like, get familiar with her, get to know her, date her for a little bit in your mind. Who is she? How playful is she? How mysterious is she? How flirtatious is she? How magnetic is she? How abundant is she? How free is her beautiful personality? Is she turned on about life? Is she charismatic? Who is she? Get to know her. Because every single day moving forward, you're channeling her. You are becoming it before it is even real. And just to be super clear, because someone's gonna say, well, how long does this take? I want you to understand something in quantum physics. You are quantum leaping in and out of different realities every moment you make new decisions. Every moment. Every moment you make a new decision, you are quantum leaping into a new reality. But where do people fuck up? They fuck up the moment they don't see a change. They forget that the 3D world is slow, heavy, and dense. This is a material world. Everything is slow, okay? 5D consciousness moves at the speed of light. Material world does not. So if I know I just quantum leaped based on this new decision I made, how will I move forward and behave? I know the shift is coming. So am I gonna need to complain? No. Do I need to keep checking my 3D reality for confirmation? No. Do I need to keep questioning myself? Am I doing this right? Is this enough? Am I good enough? Am I good at this? No, you don't need to do any of that. You just continue moving forward in a brand new state of consciousness. You will no longer be your double-minded self, your second-guessing version of yourself, the one who does not trust herself. We're throwing her away. We're done with her. The version of you who doesn't trust herself is not a helpful version. So if we understand that we're constantly quantum leaping in and out of different timelines based on new mental decisions that we are making, we don't need to seek out confirmation and then get upset and get reactive if we don't see an instant change. We move forward in blind faith through method acting in this brand new embodiment, in this brand new identity, this brand new version of ourselves, the highest possible version of yourself. And you're gonna do it every day. You're gonna do it every day until everything conforms to your favor and the universe does your bidding for you on your behalf, and you just sit on your beautiful pedestal saying, wow, I made it happen again and again and again and again, and I just keep making it happen. It's just who I am. I'm the make it happen captain. That's just who I am. But if you're one of those people who understands that you are quantum leaping with every single decision that you make, but then you start getting angry and then you get emotionally reactive because you don't see a change, you just went back. You just went back to the old self. You refuse to have faith in your new decision. You refuse to have faith and trust in yourself, the creator of your reality. You keep trusting in what your eyes see, but not in what your energy feels. That's your mistake. That's our mistake as human beings. And this is a mistake we can nip in the bud. We can cut that shit out, guys. Like literally, we can cut it out. We don't have to be that person who's always second guessing herself, who's always uncertain, who's always unsure. Am I doing it right? Where is it? It's not here. I'm so bad at this. I hate myself. I suck at this, right? Why? It feels so much better, so much calmer to just trust it's already happening. And the beauty of understanding that quantum leaps are always happening is that we can have more fun with this method acting concept because it feels more freeing. Because I'm not seeking out any type of change in my reality. I'm just doing this for fun because it feels better to be the better version of myself than the victim version of myself. It just feels better. So I can do it all day. I can keep acting like the highest version of myself and keep flipping on the switch until it becomes unconscious, meaning it becomes embedded into my subconscious mind. It becomes the new me. It becomes natural. It goes from acting for a role to embodying her. becoming her. Full cellular DNA recalibration. You're not just rewiring the subconscious, you're not just rewiring your nervous system, you're doing a full mechanic cellular switch. And you're gonna be way more captivating than the Joker and Batman. No, you're gonna be captivating the entire world through your love, through your aura, through your positive energy, through your abundance, through your freedom. You are going to become the person that people look to like, wow, I want to be just like her. I want to be just like her. She inspires me so much. She's showing me that through love, compassion, optimism, self-confidence, and high self-worth, I too can have anything in my life. I just need to turn on the switch of the highest version of myself. And we've had this conversation before in previous podcast episodes when we talked about this concept of acting. Some people say, well, I don't know how to act. Girl, you're acting all day long. What do you mean you don't know how to act? You act silly and goofy with your friends. You act mysterious and flirtatious and playful on dates with your lovers. You act like the authority figure to your children, but when you're with your parents, you act like you are their child unless you're one of those people that are reparenting your parents. Hi, I know we're all doing that. When you're at work, you're acting professional. You're putting on your customer service voice. You're acting in a completely different way than when you're on a date or when you're around your children or when you're around your friends. So check yourself. How am I acting? Because my behavioral patterns shape my reality. And it all starts from conscious thought. So self-awareness is key, and knowing who the new identity is that I'm going to start to channel. Because if I'm not self-aware and I just think I'm always doing everything right, but the world is just out to get me, nothing's gonna change. I can sit on my knees begging and praying to an external God, please take away my problems, please, please, please answer me, please send me the money, send me the lover, send me the healthier body. I need a change. Nothing's gonna happen because that's not the proper way to pray. That's not how we achieve salvation, as we went over on last week's episode, right? We need to actually play a new role. We need to become the person who's already so grateful, so excited about their desires, like they're already present, rather than acting from the absence of our desires. This is how everything changes. If you can do this for like 30 days, or even take it one step further, if you're one of those overachievers and do this for a prolonged period of time, 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, not only are you going to change on a cellular DNA level, on a mechanical, bodily engineered level, like your whole DNA is going to change, but everything as you currently know it in your 3D reality is also going to shift. Are you willing to play the part? Are you willing to audition for this new role? Check in with yourself, because it really is just you versus you. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to another episode of your Manifesting Bestie podcast, and we will be back again next Wednesday with a brand new topic. Cheers to you guys.